Welcome to day 19 of writing your novel in 30 days. Today, um, we're going, today we're going to do something a little different than we did yesterday. Um, Instead of working on our opening scene to plot point one, we're going to take our scenes from plot point one to the midpoint scene. Um, this, the scenes between plot point one and midpoint scene are significantly different from those before because you're now getting into the real action of the um, story. Okay. Instead of routine actions and subtle hints at tension, these scenes feature heightened stakes, unexpected obstacles, and more direct confrontation with the story's central problem. The protagonist's choice becomes more consequential, and their actions tend to be bolder and riskier as they pursue their goals or try to adapt to the shifting situations. Dialogue and introspection also take on greater frequency, reflecting on the character's evolving mindset and mounting pressure as the story drives towards mid turning point. Okay, so the scenes after plot point one are marked by increased momentum and complexity. It moves the story from setup to sustained conflict and transformation. Okay, so in the process of developing um, this part of your book, your storyline, you're going to want to start developing subplots to help drive you through this middle part of the book. You don't want the messy middles. You don't want the doldrums in the middle. You want action, and subplots are going to do that for you. Most of the subplots are going to be introduced in this between plot point one and the mid scene. These subplots connect the you want to connect these subplots to the main story. You want to ensure each subplot relates to your protagonist's journey or central conflict. You don't want to just go off on some tangent with these subplots. They've got to mean something to the reader and to the protagonist story. You want to develop your distinct character arcs. That's why it's really important to work on your character your character Bible. Get to know who they were at the beginning of the story, who they were before the story, and who they were or they become during the story. Okay, you wanted to vary your pacing and tension. You don't want just constant action because it'll wear the reader out, and the reader will say, "I got to take a break," and they'll close the book and may never return. So you want to put in those times of action and then release, and then action and then release. At this juncture of the story. Okay. You want to start building thematic layers. Subplots are a great way to reinforce or contrast the themes of your novel. For instance, a friendship plot might echo or challenge the protagonist's struggle with trust or belonging. Maybe your sidekick does something that it looks like betrayal to the protagonist. And this makes this protagonist feel like, oh my gosh, what happened? Resolve subplots meaningfully. Don't just, leave them, create them for creation's sake and then leave them hanging. You want to create their arcs as well as as you did the main story arc. Okay. And you want to balance attention. Don't let subplots overshadow your main plot or overwhelm the reader. Introduce them gradually and weave them in naturally so that they enrich the story without causing confusion or distractions. By thoughtfully developing these subplots, you'll add depth, complexity, and realism to your novel. It'll make your characters and story seem more compelling to the reader. Now it's your turn. Develop your scenes between your stories, your books, plot point one and midpoint scenes, and we'll see you tomorrow as we continue working on our story. Until then, bye.